Right, in this video we are going to do the front brake pads on the Fiat 500. So we've done this one side, so we should look good, shouldn't we, Destiny? We should know what we're doing. So Destiny's leaving us. She's got another job, but she's got to do some motorway mileage. So we thought we'd just check it's all good, and she's got brake pads. So first thing, jack your car up. Find a safe place underneath to jack it up. Get your jacking point. You can use your normal car jack, whatever. Jack it up, and then we'll get the axle stand underneath for safety. Up she goes. Bit more. Lush. Right, get the trolley jack, get the axle stand underneath somewhere near that chassis there, just so that if the jack fails, we ain't squashed. Right, then we got to get the wheel off. Little flat blade screwdriver's a little slot in the side of your little hubcappy thing. Oh, they've got to fight that off. Boing. Right, he's off. Remember, you'll need your locking wheel nut thing. What size socket is it, Destiny? It's quite small. And 17, 15? 17. Destiny was right, 17. So, right, whoop your wheel nuts off. Now, it might have been easier to, if you haven't got an impact driver, it might be easier to loosen them off before you jack the car up. Destiny does that. What tools are you going to need? A wire brush is handy for getting everything clean. You'll need a little punch because we've got some pins to knock out. We might need a pry bar. We've used a little file just to clean where the pads go. We got some brake cleaner. We use these sort of clamps to push the piston back in. Now bear in mind, we are not doing the discs. Destiny's discs are fine. So we are just doing the pads. There's lots of videos where they do the discs and pads. My view is you should get like 5 sets of pads to every set of discs. No harm in changing the discs. Just $1, innit, Destiny? Yeah. So there we go. So that's... If your discs aren't all thin, if you've still got plenty of thickness here, if they're not badly gouged or scratched, I wouldn't bother. Right, turn the wheel so that you've got more view. You can see we've turned it. And what we've got to do is we've got to take this bottom pin out. Now, this bottom pin has got a sneaky little sort of clip in. There, that's the little... It's got a needle nose pliers, got it in there. Oh, right, okay, so let's have a look at that. So it's a funny little sort of pin, but it goes through a hole in the pin that Destiny's going to knock out. So take all your anchor out on that little pin. There it goes. It gives up eventually. And then get a little drift. You can use an old nail or something if you haven't got a set of punches. Punch him out. He flies out the last bit, doesn't he? Or the other one did. You're going gentle this time, eh? There you go. Once he goes, he goes. So let's have a look at him. So you can see he's got a sort of mushroom head on one end. I'll get the camera to focus. He's got a mushroom head on one end. And there's the tiny little hole. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Tiny little hole there where that little clip goes to. Right, keep those safe. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to undo the brake wear sensor. So unclip that. That clips around that little hook there. There's a little thing we've got to pull there. And that disconnects that. And then it slides up. This slides up, it sits over that little bit there. Right, so then we've got that disconnected. We're all looking good now. Right, now that whole inner caliper bit, not the outer bit, the inner caliper bit should rotate. I'm going to come around the side to get a better view. Oh, there we go. So it's this outer bit stays still. It's this little inner bit. There you go, you just gently prise them up. Coming. So it's rotating about the top, you see. So it's like a little flip top head thing. And then you put your pry bar through the hole there. That'll just give it some weight to keep it back, hopefully. So with its head flip top backwards, we can now see the pads. So there you go. That one should just pop out. And what you're looking at on the pad is the wear. So it's this metal backing plate is how much of this you got left. Now, oddly, you've got a bit more on this side than the other side. What's the back pad look like? So the back pad will come out with the wear sensors. All 4 pads are the same. These little holes at the end hold the wear sensor. Was he taking a bit of knockery? Right. Oh, he's got a bit of wear left on him. Look, there you go. You can see it's the thickness there. I'll try and do a picture on the screen now. Right, now notice the wear, that was in the bottom, wasn't it? So that wear sensor goes in one of these little holes, and it's at the bottom at the back. Right, what are we looking like now? So we're all looking good now, aren't we? So we're going to just clean the faces where the brake pads sit against. got a little file, just scrape the little, because those pads should be free to slide and glide as they like. Okay. That's it. At the top, so you've got to do top and bottom, front and back. But you can see how lovely those discs look. Now what we might do, we might just put the angle grinder on the very edge of the disc. Just where it's a little bit scabby there. More cosmetic than anything. So we'll get that cleaned up. I'll get the grinder out. Right, I'm just going to grind this stuff off here, just a quick. Just to get rid of that edge a bit there, just tidy that up. Next thing you've got to do is you've got to get this little wear pad sensor. Make sure you get it in the bottom hole. So, but the ones we got were quite hard to push in. So we just put the pliers around there, lined it up, and just gave it a little tap on the top, doosh, doosh, to push it in there. Look. So that should be up to that little ring there. Right, let's go and work those in. The way this wear pad sensor works is you see how it sticks out a little bit there. And what it's got 2 wires in it, like this, embedded in the plastic. And as your brake pads wear, it goes down and down and down, and eventually it touches the metal disc, pretending to be the bodywork here, and then when it touches, it makes an electrical circuit and gives you a little warning light. It's interesting, there's actually on both sides on this. On our flash expensive Range Rovers, they've only got it on one side. It's quite deluxe having it on both sides, but normally your pads wear about the same, although yours aren't 100%. Right, enough waffling. Get that in the back, and it should fit in relatively nicely. If you're having to hammer it in, you need to clean it out some more. Right, brake wire at the bottom. No, we got it wrong. Don't tell anyone. We have to put it in again. Right, we'll get the other pad. Yeah, right, we're going to put a bit of copper grease on the back. Apparently it stops them squealing. I don't know if it does or not, but it doesn't do any harm. Although some people get upset about copper and brakes, but I think that's... Some people call it copper slip, copper grease. Right, now while Destiny's doing that, you'll note the piston here is sticking out, right? And what we've got to do is we've got to push the piston back in, because if we just flip that down now, because this piston comes out as your brakes wear. So we've now got to squeeze that back in. So this is where our handy little clamp is. So we just used the handy little clamp. Yeah. Let me help you there. Right, you got it? And then I should pump on the clamp. Now, we may have to watch the brake cylinder, because as Destiny pushes this in, the fluid is going back up through the pipes, back up to the master cylinder reservoir. That's your workout for the day, isn't it? Yeah. Right. It's gone a little bit squiffy, but that's enough. So you need it flush back. So as you look at it, you don't want to be seeing any of your piston there, and then that should all just gently slide back. You got it? Yeah. And that should all just slide back over there. Look at that, like a dream. Right, and then we've got to get the pin back in. So we fired it out from the back, so it's got to go from the back forwards. You've got to line it all up under there.
Oh, there's the hole.
Right, that's it, all through that, all through that. We'll tap that back in. Right, give it a little tap back in. That's it. And then we've got to find that little. Can you turn it to find the hole? No, you've got it. You've got it. You can rotate it to make it a more convenient place, or you've got it there. And then you've got to like push the flat end and twist it to get the other bit through. I don't know if I can do a diagram or something of it, but when it's in, isn't it?
It's not a bad system.
It's not a bad system. It works better than it looks like it should work. Right, wear connector needs reconnecting now. So you can mount it through its, go for its little hook there. Whoosh. And then you've got to slide it on its little back mount in there. Slide it over that. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Then you've got to plug the electrical connector in. More gentle tap. The most gentle of taps. It's not having it.
Maybe.
He went on better. We moved him up a little bit. Right, the connector. You could put white grease in the connector if you're ultra keen. We ain't that keen. And squidge him in, squidge him together. Make sure we got him the right way around. See the right way around? Does he have a right way around?
There we go.
Yeah, check his. Right, so final check then, yeah? So we're all looking good. Everything's looking good. One thing we can do is just straighten it up. Right, and then you can just press the brake because you want to pump that piston back out before you jump in and start driving, really. So he's free, yeah, and just check that you've got a bit of grip there. Yeah, he's definitely good. Right, so we're all ready. We're going to put the wheels back on. When you put the wheel nuts back on, put a bit of copper grease on the wheel studs, put it all back, jack it up, axle stand out. You're all good to go. Safe driving. If you disagree with anything we've done, let us know in the comments below. We are not professional mechanics, are we, Destiny?
No.
But we reckon that's okay. Right, enjoy.